So I work in healthcare myself. I'm a registered dietitian. I own a nutrition practice, and I wanted someone who was really going to collaborate with me. I've been living in this body my whole life. If something goes wrong, I'm the first to know. And so I wanted somebody who was going to really take my hand as sort of like an educator and a teacher and help me make the best choices for myself, not just tell me, here's what you need to do, don't call me about it, but somebody that was really going to collaborate with me. And that's really what drew me to Joy Wellness Partners, is their specialty in regenerative medicine and how this is really not your typical doctor's office or clinic. That's just, you feel like you're on a conveyor belt. You get your prescription, you leave, and that's pretty much it. This is the furthest thing from that, and I really wanted that individualized collaborative care, and that's what Joy Wellness Partners offers, so here I am.
So what were your goals? What were your symptoms? And
oh boy, okay, so for this, I've been coming to Joy Wellness Partners for quite some time, let me tell you, but I'm assuming you want me to talk about the most recent health issue. I do want to plug Joy Wellness Partners. I have been here for back injuries. I've been here for sinus infections. I've been here for pregnancy problems, like everything you can think of that can happen in a woman's life. Joy Wellness Partners has been helping me along the way. Most recently, and probably the saddest of all, is that in January, I suffered a traumatic pregnancy loss. It was an ectopic pregnancy that really almost took my life. And I ended up in emergency surgery, and I had to take all these drugs, and it was a very horrible situation. And I got really sick after all of this treatment. And I came in here for a wellness IV and to help with some sinus issues that I was having, because I was just dragging the bottom when it came to how I was feeling. And through that care, Carol, the founder of Joy Wellness Partners, suggested that we start working on really what was the cause of this ectopic pregnancy, and that is a subserosal uterine fibroid. I have had this fibroid for all of my adult life. And it grows, it shrinks, it twists, it changes, and it just so happened that when I got pregnant with this most recent baby, it swelled up and occluded my fallopian tube, making it to where the sperm could get up, but the baby could not get out. And my surgeon who did the ectopic removal and who saved my life truly wanted to remove the fibroid right then and there, but my uterus was so vascular from being pregnant that it just would not have been a safe surgery. So we had to wait and see, and that's where Carol stepped in. My options were a very invasive surgery, a partial hysterectomy, going on a really invasive drug called Lupron, which tanks your quality of life and puts you in sort of a medical menopause. And as somebody who wants to grow her family, these all sounded horrible. So I decided we were going to think outside the box. In looking in research on my own and just working in the field of women's fertility, I have seen some very promising yet very preliminary data on GLP-1 agonists shrinking the overall volume of the uterus and helping to shrink some estrogen-sensitive tissues like endometrial lesions, and I had endometriosis before, as well as hormone-sensitive fibroids or non-cancerous tumors, and that's essentially what I have. So coming here, Joy Wellness Partners set me up with a very tiny dose of tirzepatide, which is a GLP-1 agonist, as well as a peptide called thymosin alpha, which is specifically targeted at shrinking that tumor and supporting your immune system to naturally break down those tumor cells on your own. And so that's sort of the journey that I've been on here so far.
And what have you noticed since you've been on it, and how do you feel now?
Oh my gosh. This has been the greatest experience of my life, shy of coming to Jesus, marrying my husband, and becoming a mother. Going on tirzepatide and thymosin alpha has given me a quality of life I did not know possible. My energy levels are up. I am sleeping so much better. Anxiety is better. My digestion, I had no idea how much belly pain I was living with on a daily basis. I have endometriosis, and having pain in your belly is just like the standard, just a part of life. And I'd always lived with it. I didn't really realize how painful things really were until I think it was like 2 or 3 days after my first dose of tirzepatide. Usually by the evening, even yoga pants are too painful for my belly. It swells, it is so tender. And even that stretchy waistband is too much. You'll find me in like a granny nightgown by the end of the day. But I think it was 3 days after my first dose, I went to bed that night and I didn't feel like I had this huge, sore, flopping gut that I couldn't wait to lay down on my bed. I felt normal. I felt fine. I felt like I'd felt the rest of the day, and not this growing pressure and tenderness in my belly all day long. So whether that's the tirzepatide or the thiamine alpha or the combination of the two, I don't know, but that has been my biggest improvement, is that the pain is so much less. The swelling is so much less. I'm able to wear normal clothes and not put something on in the morning and be unable to button it by the evening. So that has been probably the biggest help. Just every metric of my life, I feel, has improved since taking these medications.
What are you most hopeful for now?
Another baby. I mean, that's really what I am hoping for. Today, we're going to talk about potentially when I'm going to start coming off this medication, or if I should even do that, and what the plan should look like moving forward. But really, my goal is to grow my family, to have another healthy baby, and not have this big bully fibroid getting in the way of that. So hopefully, we're going to get some good news on next steps.